In this brief and bewildering lifetime, you will meet countless souls. Some will drift by like early morning fog, soft and momentary, while others carve lessons so deep they settle into your bones. You will love, lose, ache, and evolve. Yet when the crowd scatters, when even loyalty grows faint and the world fades into dim shapes, there remains one constant presence that never turns away. You. The deepest value you'll ever honor begins not with dramatic declarations, but with a quiet moment when you decide, fully and finally, to stay with yourself. Not flawlessly, not bravely, but steadily, gently, and without conditions. It starts when you loosen the hold of old mistakes, not by erasing them, but by refusing to let them script the rest of your life. It's there in the soft murmur. Even when your voice shakes in the dark, I haven't given up on who I am. No one else lives inside your seconds. No one else can choose for you, defend your boundaries, or inhabit your truth. That inner territory, your thoughts, your values, your inner compass, is sovereign land. You cannot dictate the chaos others bring to your threshold, but you possess absolute power over the way you meet it. Whether you stay or step away, speak or remain quiet, that choice is a heartbeat of your freedom. Self-love isn't a luxury for the privileged. It is a steady flame you must carry through uncertainty, the warmth that keeps your spirit from going numb when life grows sharp and merciless. You deserve devotion that honors your entire being, not devotion that forces you to shrink, silence parts of yourself, or vanish to earn affection. But here's the soft truth. Before the world mirrors that love back to you, you must first offer to the witness behind your own eyes, the part of you that has survived every rise and collapse, every doubt and revelation. That part has never walked away. Isn't it time you return to loyalty? Many confuse self-love with arrogance or spiritual avoidance. But true self-love is not denial. It isn't pretending you have no shadows or acting as if your wounds don't ache. It is a radical recognition that you are both the hurt and the healing, the inquiry and the answer, the storm and the stillness. It is choosing to remain present with your own becoming, even when it feels unbearably slow, tangled, or painful. And that is where the quantum shift begins. The moment you stop deserting yourself, reality is forced to respond differently. Because when you truly cease betraying your own heart, your entire field reorganizes. Not symbolically, but tangibly. Your nervous system rises out of survival mode. Your energy stops scattering in 100 directions, chasing crumbs of validation. You become aligned. And in quantum language, alignment is not just clarity. It is magnetism. It pulls toward you the people, openings, and experiences that match the frequency of self-worth. Not because you're manifesting from emptiness or need, but because you become the living expression of what you once hoped to receive. Most people spend their whole lives trying to earn love from sources that were never capable of giving it. They perform. They diminish. They bend themselves into shapes that ache. And still the validation either never arrives or comes empty and conditional. This is not failure. This is life showing you repeatedly where your energy has been misplaced. Every moment spent chasing approval from someone who could not truly see you as a moment you were being called back home to yourself. The pain wasn't punishment. It was redirection. Here is the truth that changes everything. You cannot receive what you refuse to embody. If you do not offer yourself loyalty, you won't recognize it when someone else brings it. If you do not speak gently to your own heart, you'll mistrust every gentle word offered to you. If you do not honor your own presence, you will accept connections that treat you as optional, convenient, forgettable, replaceable. The external world is not occasionally mirroring your inner landscape. It is constantly reflecting the agreement you've made with yourself. So when the night feels heavy and your heart forgets its worth, place your hand over your chest. Feel that rhythm. That steady pulse is your oldest companion, your truest guardian. You are the only home you will carry through every chapter of your life. Do not abandon the consciousness that stayed when all others drifted. Do not betray the part of you that kept breathing when breathing felt impossible. That part is not only deserving of love, it is love, and it is a passageway to everything you are meant to step into. This is not a single decision. It is a practice, a return, sometimes hourly, sometimes moment to moment. Every time you feel the urge to abandon your truth for someone else's comfort, and you pause and choose yourself instead, you are rewiring your nervous system. You are teaching yourselves a new language. I am no longer available for experiences that require my self-abandonment. And let this settle. This is not selfish. Choosing yourself is not choosing against anyone. It is choosing the highest possible version of connection. Because when you come forward whole, without grasping for validation, you create space for others to meet you whole as well. You become a mirror that reflects their own capacity for self-love. You step out of the collective illusion that says we must remain broken, seeking, and perpetually insufficient. When you genuinely commit to this, your tolerance for mistreatment dissolves, not from resentment, but from clarity. You simply cannot unsee what you now understand. You cannot unknow your worth. You will not go back to dynamics that ask you to dim your light, mute your truth, or deny your needs. The dissonance becomes too sharp, the cost too steep, and so you begin moving differently through the world. You speak with more honesty. You choose with more integrity. Not because you're forcing some ideal future, but because you're finally aligned with the reality of who you are. That alignment is what people sense when they say, "You've changed." What they're really witnessing is your coherence, the end of inner conflict. You are no longer sending fragmented signals into the universe. You have become singular in your intention. People will not always understand this shift. Some will resist it. Some will try to pull you back into the patterns where you were easier to predict, easier to mold, easier to keep small. This is not their wrongdoing. It is their fear. Fear of change. Fear of losing access to the version of you that catered to their comfort. But you are not here to manage their fear. You are here to honor the sacred agreement you've made with yourself. And here is a truth that must be spoken clearly. Every time you silence your truth to avoid conflict, to soothe someone's discomfort, or to stop them from leaving, you enact a kind of violence, not physical, but spiritual. The kind that slowly dissolves your sense of self, quietly, invisibly, until one day you awaken and realize you no longer remember who you were before you learned to disappear. This is the most deceptive form of self-betrayal because it feels like love. It feels like sacrifice. It feels like care. But it is none of those things. It is fear dressed up as devotion. Real love, whether coming from you or someone else, never asks you to erase yourself. It does not ask for your silence. It does not require you to shrink your needs or apologize for your existence. Letting go of what no longer aligns will feel like dying, because, in a sense, it is. You are shedding the identity that formed around being essential, dependable, the one who always gives. You are laying to rest a story that your value is determined by how much you can absorb or how little you ask for in return. Death, even when necessary, is never gentle. Your system will resist. Your mind will craft narratives. It wasn't that bad. You're overreacting. Go back before you lose everything. But this is only the old programming, making its final frantic attempt to survive. Breathe into it. Notice where your body tightens at the thought of standing in your worth. That is where your healing resides. Meet those places not with judgment, but with mercy. The moment you choose yourself, you also choose a new timeline. This isn't poetic metaphor. It is quantum physics. Every decision collapses countless potential paths into one lived reality. When you chose self-abandonment, you were collapsing into timelines that matched that vibration. Relationships that echoed your lack of self-regard. Opportunities that confirmed the belief that you were insufficient. But the instant you choose differently, when you treat yourself as sacred, you collapse into another field entirely. Timelines where you are met with respect, where your limits are honored, where your existence is cherished instead of merely endured. This is why the transformation begins within before it ever manifests without. You cannot manipulate your way into a life that fits. You cannot perform your way into real love. You cannot strategize your way into alignment. The shift must begin at the level of frequency, at the level of identity, at the level of the internal story about who you are and what you are worthy of. Once that story evolves, once you sincerely inhabit the truth of your worth, the outer world is compelled to mirror it, not because you are controlling reality, but because you are finally attuned to it. So pause, breathe, ask yourself with honesty, where in my life am I picking comfort instead of truth? Where am I saying yes while my soul cries no? Where am I staying from fear, not from love? Where am I suppressing myself to maintain peace? These questions are not easy ones. They will stir the things you've been avoiding. But discomfort is not the enemy. It is the signal that you are touching something true, something ready to shift if you're willing to meet it. Do not look away. Do not numb yourself. This is the work that turns self-love from concept into embodiment. For years, your body has been trying to speak to you. Tightness in your chest, tension in your belly, exhaustion no amount of sleep could resolve. You were taught to trust your thoughts over your feelings, your logic over your intuition. So you pushed through. You said yes while every cell screamed no. And eventually your body stopped whispering. It began shouting through burnout pain, fatigue that rest could not touch. This wasn't punishment. It was communication. Your body is not your adversary. It is your most faithful companion, trying again and again to pull you back into alignment. Choosing yourself means choosing to listen again. It means asking, what do you need right now? And actually pausing long enough to hear the response. It means honoring your limits instead of constantly overrunning them. It means understanding that rest is not weakness, that boundaries are not selfish, that saying no is not failure, but holy acts of self-respect. You do not owe anyone your depletion. You do not owe anyone endless access to your energy when you are empty. You do not owe anyone justification for why you are choosing yourself. This is your one wild, fleeting, sacred life, and you are allowed to live in a way that protects your peace, honors your truth, and celebrates your existence. Even if it contradicts what others expected of you, you are allowed to disappoint those who require your self-abandonment to stay comfortable. You are allowed to be misread. You are allowed to be labeled selfish by people who profited from your self-neglect. None of that alters your worth. When the night grows heavy again, and it will, place your hand over your heart and feel the steady beat beneath your palm. Remember, you are the companion who has never departed, the guardian who has never wavered, the sanctuary you carry within. No matter what collapses around you, do not desert the essence that remained when everything else fell away. That part of you is not only deserving of love, it is love itself. And the moment you remember that, truly choose that, reality can only shift in response. One final truth. None of this integrates if your nervous system is still locked in survival. You can affirm your worth endlessly, but if your body believes it's unsafe to exist as yourself, the transformation cannot take root. That's why I create a complete guide to resetting your nervous system. So these frequencies don't remain mental, but settle into your physiology. Watch it next, because alignment doesn't begin after you fix yourself. It begins the moment you stop abandoning yourself and finally come home